Good morning, students. So today is 22 May, and this day is a very special day because it is observed as International Biodiversity Day in the world. And the theme for this day is given by United Nations, and the theme is "We are a part of the solution." So by this statement, we means that we are the only being who can give a suitable solution, that how can we preserve our biodiversity and what measures we should adopt for conserving the species which are living with us from many years on this planet Earth. Yes, children. If we talk about the definition of biodiversity, then biodiversity or biological diversity is actually the total sum of all the living organisms that exist on our earth. You know that the earth consists of millions of species, and these species, in whatever form they are present in front of us now, they are not as same in the previous times. So the process of evolution, it takes place millions of years back. So you also know that there are variability found in the living organisms, and they are also having different kind of habitats. That some of the species, they are living in terrestrial conditions, some are living in marine habitats, and others they are found in aquatic ecosystem. So diversity is not only present at the species level, whereas the diversity is also found among the habitats of the species. So in this way, I'm going to tell you here that biodiversity is not a simple term. It is a broad term and it has many meanings. Yes, children, biodiversity, as I have already explained you, that the number and the variety of plants, animals, and other organisms that exist in our ecosystem, they actually constitutes the biodiversity. So it is, in other words, you can say it is a measure of the variety of organisms that are present in different type of ecosystems. So what is ecosystem? Ecosystem is the life sustaining units. And another thing is the richness of the biodiversity. It is actually present upon the climatic conditions that are found in that area. So biodiversity is the result of a very important process, and that is evolution, which is 3.5 billion years back. Yes, student, here I am going to tell you that there are mainly three types of biodiversity. First is species biodiversity. Species biodiversity means that number of different species that are living in an area, they actually constitutes the species biodiversity. Another is ecosystem biodiversity. So here we observe that the diversity is not only found at the species level, whereas it is also found at the ecosystem level. So there are variety of habitats that are present in an area. And by genetic biodiversity, we means that the number of genes which are actually present in the members of a population. So remember that biodiversity is of three types: species biodiversity, ecosystem biodiversity, and genetic biodiversity. Yes, children, first is species diversity. So species diversity, it actually describes the variety and the number of different species that are found in an area. So we can say that if you want to accurately determine species diversity, that means the species richness in a particular area, then it is not possible to exactly found the accurate number of species that are present in an area. So we can only relatively found the number of species. So instead of accurate measurement, we can here say that we can talk only about the relative abundance of the species that are found in an area. So species richness always depends upon the climatic conditions, that whatever climatic conditions they are there in the habitat of an organism. So if the habitat of an organism, it has proper climatic conditions, appropriate climatic conditions. This means the species richness is more in that, you can say, area. So when a species, it is confined entirely to a particular area and it is not found anywhere else, it is a unique species of that particular area. So you can say that it is an endemic species. Yes, student. So a second type of biodiversity is ecosystem diversity. So ecosystem diversity means that diversity is also found at the ecosystem level. Different species, they are living in different type of habitats. And these may be the forest ecosystem, it may be grassland ecosystem or desert ecosystem. Then rivers are there, some of the animals which are living in oceans. So all of these are the different type of ecosystems in which we see different type of species they are living. Yes, third one is genetic diversity. Genetic diversity is the amount of variations that are actually present in the genetic material within the species or within a population. So the magnitude of variation in the genes of a species, it increases with increase in the size and the environmental parameters of the habitat. So the genetic diversity has the following importance. Number one, it helps in speciation or evolution of new species. Another is it is useful in adaptation to changes in environment conditions. And number three is it is important for agriculture productivity and development. Now I'm going to tell you about the importance of biodiversity to nature. The first is living things, they are independent. So that's why we have to give importance to these living organisms. Populations, they are adapted to live together in communities. And third thing is biodiversity can bring stability to an ecosystem. So ecosystems are stable if their biodiversity is maintained. Another is what is the importance of biodiversity to humans. So human depends on other organisms for their needs. Only a few species of plants and animals, they supply the major portion of food eaten by the human population. So biodiversity could also help breeders produce additional food crops. Biodiversity can be used to improve people's health since living things supply the world pharmacy. Yes, now I'm going to tell you that what are the ways to protect biodiversity. So first is protection of the habitat. If you want to conserve the species, then it is very much essential that we have to protect the habitats. So there are different methods by which we can protect the habitats. If we prevent habitat loss or degradation, then by this we can reduce the number of threatened and endangered species. Another is most of the species, they are specialist. The species that occupy a narrow niche and have specific requirements. So if we conserve their niche, we ultimately conserve the species. Another thing is we should avoid habitat fragmentation for our own greediness. And fourth thing is if we stop pollution, then the habitat degradation will not take place. And this helps us to protect biodiversity. Now I am going to tell you the benefits of biodiversity. So biodiversity provides us with food, shelter, medicines, and clothing. Another thing is 80% of our food supply, it comes from 20 kind of plants. And third thing is about 80,000 edible wild plant species could be utilized by humans. And fourth is humans use at least 40,000 species of plants and animals a day. More than 50% of all prescriptions contain natural products. Yes, children, there are various approaches by which we conserve biodiversity. The first is in situ conservation. So in situ conservation is the process of protecting an endangered plant or animal species in its natural habitat, either by protecting or cleaning the habitat itself or by defending the species from their predators. Here I want to say that here we conserve the endangered plant and animal species in their natural habitat. We are not isolating the particular plant or animal species from their habitat. The wild stock and livestock conservation is mostly based on in situ conservation. So here we have so many examples like biosphere reserve, national parks, etc. Next is ex situ conservation, the conservation method in which organisms are protected outside their natural habitat. It is known as ex situ conservation. So there are different examples of ex situ conservation like zoological gardens, botanical gardens, and gene banks. So that's all in today's lecture, students. Have a nice day.